she's Bronya, and I'm Sammie. We're from the Business of Cake Making podcast, and you can find us online if you want to have a listen. Spotify, iTunes, etc., etc. So today we're going to be showing you how to make drip cake. So we've got a couple of dummies here that we've already prepared with buttercream. So what we're going to do is just decorate them nicely with a little bit of a Christmas flair. Are you doing a Christmas flair on your one?
No, I am. So I went shopping. I'm doing a Tunnocks theme.
Oh, very nice. The Tunnocks are vegetarian.
Oh, well, there you even better. So
Just in
I'm
case you
going to
wasn't
do one
know.
if you're looking to do just like a birthday cake, that sort of thing. And Sammie is going to be doing festive Christmas. I'm going to do a curtain drip, and Sammie is going to do a teaspoon drip.
Teaspoon drip.
So there's slightly different techniques, slightly different results. So first of all, so what we've got here is we've got white chocolate that we've melted in the microwave and put a little bit of oil in, because if you put a bit of oil in, it will help it drip a little bit further and a little bit thinner.
And it's also handy if your cake is chilled in the fridge for a little bit, so that if your chocolate is a little bit too warm, it doesn't melt the buttercream on the cake as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Right, I'll leave you to colour the
Okay,
the
so I'm going to
thingies.
take some of my chocolate. Oh, there was a big lump in it there. I hope that doesn't show up on the cake. And then I'll take a bit there.
So this is just inexpensive supermarket white chocolate. You don't need anything more than that.
No,
Nothing more
Lidl's,
posh.
Aldi's, that sort of thing.
And if you put, say, a little bit of oil, so rapeseed, vegetable, sunflower, it just helps it run a little bit better.
So I'm
Just
using...
a drip. So if you melt it and then put a little dribble in and stir it, you can. It's quite. Can you do a texture thing? So it pours. Yeah.
Nice and easy to pour there. So I'm going to start on my
do
Christmas cake. So I've got Colour Mill, which is an oil-based colouring. So because if you put like the shop bought colourings in which have water in them, your chocolate will split, and then you won't be able to pour it. So this one's an oil-based one. So I'm just going to put...
Likewise, don't use any gel. Don't use any gel colourings, because they've got oil in and it seizes your chocolate. So if you've had that problem, it might be because of the colouring you use. So always use an oil-based colouring when you're colouring your chocolate.
So I've got a nice colour green there.
Am I going red?
Yeah, go for it. So I'm doing a teaspoon drip on my cake. I'm just going to move everything over a little bit so that you can all see. Okay. All right. So I just get a little bit on my teaspoon. I wipe it in the bowl, otherwise you might get a little drip on your board. And then from the top of the cake, you just pour it down like so, making sure any drips go on the top of the cake. So I'm going to do a combo of red and green. So you can use the amount that you pour will determine how long your drip is. So here we go. I'm going to spin this round so you can see. Okay, it's a nice Grinchy kind of green that I've gone for.
Are you using the red as well?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I want to go for both.
I'll use white then.
Okay, so as you can see, I'm getting different lengths of drip there, just using my teaspoon. So it's nice and simple. If your chocolate is a bit too thick, you can always add a little bit more oil. Here we go. I'm going to keep going round. I'm going to leave a gap there so that I can put some red in there. Here we go. It's starting to look very pretty. I'll try and go a bit quicker for you. Here we go. So as you can see, the drips are pouring down quite nicely. I think I'm going to just drop my spoon in the chocolate. Don't want to do that. Get a bit messy. So I'm going to take some of the red now and add that on this side. And here you go. It's looking very seasonal. So just a small bit, and then you get your drip. So I think, oh look, you can see if you don't do it over the cake, you get the little drip, which has come over at the back there, which is lucky it's at the back. So I've made a mess. There we go. So I think
So
while I
what
carry
do you
on
do with the edges?
Oh, I'm going to show you in a minute.
Okay.
But I think if you want to start on yours, and then
yeah.
that means that I can carry on with this. Go for it.
Okay, so I'm going to do a curtain drip, which is slightly different. So this is a bit more controlled. You're choosing where it's going to drip, how much it's going to drip, whereas I'm literally just going to dump all the chocolate on top and push it to the sides. So you get more of like a curtain falling effect. The cake isn't as cold as I would normally have it, because obviously it's been in Sammie's car. But so it's usually, if your cake is chilled for about 15 minutes, the drip won't drip so quickly because it'll set before it starts dripping. So I'm hopefully going to be able to put this down without it. I'm going to put it there.
Okay. So Bronya's getting her,
I'm literally going to put it straight on the top,
she's pouring it on the top.
and then you're going to ease it to the edges.
Do you know, I never do my drips like this. I should watch you.
I love a curtain drip. And the best thing to do here is to have quite runny chocolate because it drips a little bit further.
Yeah, because I have done cakes before, and you're pouring the drip, and it starts to look like a candle,
Yeah.
which is an effect you don't want. You want a nice, smooth drip. Oh, that's looking good, Bronya.
So there you go, just pushing it to the edges. And can you see, excuse me, I'll get my microphone out. As you can see, it's got less control than the way that Sammie's doing it, but it's quicker. And it's a little bit more artistic, isn't it, you know? So what I tend to do with my top of my cake, now I usually have a turntable, but if you get your palette knife, we're going to do a swirl round the top. Excuse me while I put my microphone back. Just when I've got a rumbling tum, isn't it? Right, so you're just going to move that round. It's much better with the turntable.
Oh, that's a good idea. So you're creating a ridge,
You create a swirl on
a
the top.
swirl effect on the top of the cake for the decoration. Oh, that looks nice. Do you have a camera so you can all see what we're doing? Yes. Brilliant. Okay.
Right, now I'm going to choose my best side because then that's going to be the front. And that's also a bit of a tip. When you're doing a drip cake, although these are stuck on the boards and Sammie's already got Merry Christmas written on hers, when you do your drip, then go round and pick the best bit and that'll be the front. So don't put it on the board and pin it down first. Do it afterwards. Right, which one's the best bit? I'm going to go with the long bits. I'm going to go with the long bits. What do you reckon?
Yep. Yep, that looks good.
Right.
That's looking good.
Okay, I'll let you carry on.
Okay. So I've put the drip the whole way around the cake, and I've made a mess there. I want to show you something in a minute. It's made a bit of a mess. Okay, so I'm going to pour the remainder of my chocolate on the cake, trying not to make a mess. And I'm going to put the two colours in together. Hopefully it won't come out as brown. But I'm just going to swirl it around, similar to Bronya, but making sure that the chocolate isn't poured down the side of the cakes. It's starting to go brown, but we're going to add some decorations to make it nice and seasonal. So that's looking nice. So the top of your cake is covered, which will look nice. So I'm just going to add some decorations now.
Do you want some cream?
Not at the moment. Okay. So I've made some decorations at home. So this is just sugar paste, but you can buy the lollipops if you wanted to. I also made these candy canes, but you can buy these in Aldi's and Lidl's if you wanted to. So you're just going to make sure that they're central to your cake and slide them in. So my cake's a polystyrene cake, which I didn't think about. So I'm going to have problems with that. So I'm going to take that out. Hopefully it will stay up.
Nothing like a bit of polystyrene.
Oh my goodness, I didn't think about that. So I'm going to put my decorations in there, like so. And I've got a candy cane here, which you can attach using the chocolate and the buttercream at the front to give it a nice Christmassy feel. I'll just put those on like so. Sorry you can't see. I'll spin it round. And then you can put one onto the board if you want to. And I've got some holly here, which I previously made as well, using sugar paste. But you can buy holly in the shops if you wanted. And then I've got some berries. I shall add those, which start to look nice and Christmassy, I hope. And I've got sprinkles here, which I'm going to add to the cake. So I've got some silver balls, which will give it a nice seasonal feel as well. Nice and sparkly. I don't feel like holding back. You can also...
Sammie's never held back when it's come to sparkle.
I do love a sparkle.
Loves a bit of sparkle.
So I've also made some snowflakes here with a snowflake cutter, which I brought with me, if I can find it. There's my holly cutter, and that's the only one I can find. Sod's law. So I'm going to put these around the cake, and then in a minute I'm going to add some festive sparkle as well, because
More sparkle.
More sparkle.
Can there be any more sparkle?
Yes. Always, always, always. So here we go. This is called Magic Sparkles. So it's edible. And it looks like sparkly snowflakes. So I'm just going to sprinkle that.
Sammie and I used to work together. So we used to work in a shop together. I used to have a shop and Sammie was my head baker. And we always knew where Sammie had been working because there would be glitter everywhere.
You can never have too much glitter.
We always knew when she'd been there.
So I'm just going to spin this around because I've also got some macarons, which I think I'm going to add to the cake as well. I'll just spin that round so that I can do it. And you can position them around the cake. I like to use the chocolate because that helps adhere them to the cake, so you can't worry about them slipping around everywhere. Here we go. Put one there, and I'm going to put one down at the bottom.
Make sure you use all the cake. It's not just about the top. You've got a whole bottom of a cake as well. And quite often we see photos of cakes and everything's piled up on top, and you've got all round the bottom. If you put your cake on a bigger board than your cake is, you always have that extra space. And obviously the bigger the board, the more you've got to decorate and the more chocolates and decoration and everything you've got to get on there.
Okay, do you want to have a go now then?
Yeah.
Okay.
You sure?
Yes.
You done?
Yes.
Right, so I am going to do tunnocks, and I've got tea cakes, I've got some wafers, I've also bought some smaller things like marshmallows, and because it's Christmas, some snowballs. So I've got this cream. This is enchanted cream. I would usually use a buttercream, but because obviously coming to the show and I didn't want the buttercream to solidify, so we're using enchanted cream today. I'm going to put this down again. I can't pipe two-handed.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm sure most of you know how to pipe, but just in case, make sure you hold your piping bag straight down. Don't do it at an angle. You're not writing. You're going straight down. And what I'm going to start by doing is putting the big things on first. So if you're doing a cake with chocolates and flowers and all sorts of things, put a couple of big things on first and then put the fillers in. So if you put like the little fillers in, and you can fill in around it.
So Bronya, oh, that's a lovely colour, Bronya. I love it.
That cream really colours well.
Ah, matches your jumper nearly. So that's looking really nice, Bronya. I like your swirls.
Right, so put a couple of big bits on. Might put a couple of swirls at the front.
And Bronya's now adding her chocolate.
All my bits and pieces.
I've just got my pinny dirty. Oops.
So once you've got some big bits on, you can start to infill with all the other little bits and pieces. I'm trying to do it from the back, but it's not easy.
So what chocolates are you using? Maltesers,
Maltesers and snowballs.
snowballs, very seasonal.
Now, there is this theory that less is more.
No, more.
Ridiculous. Never believe it.
Always more.
More is more, okay? More is always more. What I would say, though, is buttercream. Some people love it. Some people find it a bit cloying, a bit sickly. So, depending who you're making the cake for, judge how much buttercream you are piling up on top. Because once you've piled it on top, there's a big chunk of pure buttercream on the top.
I also find now that not everybody likes Christmas cake, the traditional Christmas cake. So a cake like this is going to get eaten more, I think, than the fruit cake.
So,
Yeah,
you've got to eat it quicker because it's a sponge. So, it's got to go.
definitely. Yes.
Right, you've got something else to do on yours, haven't you?
Yes, I have. So what I have done on my cake before I came, I've indented my boards to say Happy Christmas using sweet stamps. And you can actually buy those here. They're based at the other end of the hall. And I've got a mixture here of alcohol with gold dust and a sweet stamp little bottle. And I love doing this. Let's hope it goes well. So using your little spout, you just pour into the mixture and it fills the writing as you go. You don't want to put too much in, otherwise it will overfill. And then the alcohol evaporates, leaving you with a lovely Happy Christmas. Here we go. I'm slightly going over the edges because I got snowflakes into everything. But it's starting to look good. I bet you didn't think I could do it this quickly, Bronya.
I did earlier on. She said, I'm going to fill it in. I mean, we haven't got that much time. We've only got half an hour. You're on fire, love.
Yeah.
You're on fire.
Much quicker. Because I've used glitter, my spout is getting blocked a little bit, but just give it a shake. It is edible glitter, just in case you're worried. But that is starting to look very seasonal, don't you think? I love doing this. It's very cathartic.
May I have some of your sparkles, please? I'm going to come and steal them.
Yeah, help yourself. Unfortunately, I did spill a little bit of the green chocolate in here, but I'm going to cover that up in a minute. So I'll spin that round so you can all see it. It's looking very nice. One Happy Christmas, and in about 10-15 minutes that will all be dry, so you'll be able to move the cake. But because I made a mistake and I dropped my chocolate on it, I'm just going to put a couple of snowflakes on it, and then
Smoke and mirrors.
smoke and
This is the
mirrors.
thing about cake decorating. If you make a mistake, make sure you stick something over it. The
Yeah.
hardest cakes in the world are plain white cakes. There is nowhere to hide. If you've got a cake like this, there's a dent, there's a dink, cover it up with a snowflake, cover it up with whatever, chocolate, whatever you've got. It just, it just helps. Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, these are my favourite, easy, lovely cakes to do. I've also got some white balls. Oh wow, yours looks fantastic.
10-minute cake, mate.
10-minute cake. And I'm just going to sprinkle some white balls on.
So on our podcast, The Business of Cake Making, we talk to a lot of different cake makers. Some do cakes like this, some have bakeries, some do big extravagant wedding cakes, etc., etc. We also talk about running a business, but at our heart, at our core, we're both cake makers, and this is what we do, this is what we love. And usually it's just two middle-aged women chatting about cake. So,
Yeah.
if you want to have us in your kitchen while you're doing your cakes, it's just like having two buddies in your
Yes.
cake, in your kitchen.
We like to have a laugh. But we've had Great British Bake Off guests.
Yeah, we've got another one on Saturday coming up, actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're interviewing him here.
Here, yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, we've had we've had a lot of international guests on. We've had a lot of homegrown guests. Homegrown, that sounds awful, doesn't it? Homegrown. But yeah, we've been doing it for 4 years, so there's quite a good back catalogue if you want to go and listen. So yeah, and we talk about everything from baking, the actual baking, to actually running the business. So right the way through. 2 middle-aged women chatting about cake.
There we go.
Are you done? It's looking glorious.
If I had some glitter,
it's looking
extra
glorious.
glitter, I would add some to my macarons, but I'm just going to put a little sprinkle.
Right, should we move this
Drunk. There we go.
We made a right mess of this counter.
We're working at speed. Do you want any glitter on yours?
I put some on.
Okay. Okay. I don't want to put... There we go. Thank you, everybody. You can find us. Where can they find us?
Instagram. So I'm just going to repeat what you're saying now. I've stolen the microphone. So yeah, and the podcast is on your the business of cake making, and definitely Spotify, Apple, all your favorite platforms. So
Yes.
definitely give them a follow and a listen. They look absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank
Please
you.
give a huge round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you.